Hey bitches, it's your favorite living room podcast, Bitches with a Mic, with your girls Double D, DJ, and LD. And right off the bat, I do know that I sound different. I'm working through a bit of a cold. Don't have COVID. Got tested, don't have COVID. But I am hoping to use this raspy, sexy voice to gain some new followers. Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about the Meghan and Harry interview with Oprah, and then we are going to give an update on our Zoom dating night that we held last week. Let's get into it. On Sunday, March 7th, Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah was aired, and it spilled a lot of fucking tea. I'm here for it. I love it.
More than the Boston Tea Party.
More than the Boston Tea Party, yep. So right off the bat, Meghan is a queen, and all of her old coworkers, friends, and everybody has been coming to her aid all week, saying that she's not a shitty person, that all of this stuff that's been going on is not true. So we are going to dive into this, starting off with one of the first questions was about Meghan and Kate, and if Meghan made Kate cry. She said no.
And this was at Meghan's wedding, right?
Yeah, it was a couple days before the wedding.
Okay.
Kate's a hater. So sorry. Hate to say it.
I know, and I really liked her up until 2 days ago.
She was always very Jimmy, which was fine. But now she's a confirmed hater now. So
Yeah. But okay, so the thing was there was some controversy over
the
flower girls dresses, yeah. And it made
controversy,
Meghan
the hot topic.
Yeah.
Controversy, the fucking flower girl dresses.
I know. And it made Meghan cry, but then Kate came, gave her flowers, a card, apologized. Everything was swept under the rug, and then 7 months later, the media came out and said Meghan made Kate cry. Meghan's a huge bitch, all this stuff,
But Kate didn't say anything.
Correct.
That's what pisses me off.
And that's what
they're
pissed...
fucking vultures. And
yeah.
She was like...
And that's what pissed Meghan off, and she said that was the turning point where she knew that the palace was not ever going to have her back because of something so stupid. But she was like, they could have squashed this in 2 seconds, just like they squash everything else, and they chose not to do it.
She is a way better person than me because I would just be recklessly airing out their shit. I'm so sorry. I would be tweeting I'd be like, y'all will never believe what just happened. Like, this is fucking crazy. I would be airing their shit all the way out. Are you joking?
Wouldn't be scared?
No. What the fuck are they gonna do? I'd be
I don't fucking know.
I'd be
like Diana, your eyes?
I know, but I'd be like, if I'm dead, like you guys know who did it.
I mean, Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. Oh my god, icon, legend.
Yes, and basically this whole thing. So Meghan did say that, kind of like you would think if anyone's ever watched Princess Diaries, that there is a class of how to be royal. She thought the same thing. That is not the case. The first time
I love. Can I just pause for a second? The fact that would be some shit I would do. I'd be like, well, the Princess Diaries.
Yeah, exactly. And how to got this.
Well,
I'm like, where's Julie Andrews?
Yeah, you would think that they would. I mean, why wouldn't they? How is she supposed to know how to curtsy the national, all of this shit? How is she supposed to fucking know? She's American.
Well, you would think it would be the same kind of thing, like maybe not like called that, but it would be the same kind of things like PR training or media training that like people have like in entertainment. But
yeah, exactly.
That shit is so outdated. Like I can't not PR training, but just the whole family, including the members of it. Like, but like also just the institution in general. Queen Elizabeth. Bitch, come for me. I dare you. If we have any British listeners, hello, isn't it Tuesday? Just wanted to shout out for you guys.
So once the wedding happened, Meghan said everything turned for the worst. She realized that no one was going to help her in the palace. Apparently the family and the institution are two completely separate things, so she says. So she would go to the institution for help on how to do certain royal things, or what is she supposed to do with this, what she's supposed to do with that. So she made it very clear that a lot of this stuff had to do with the institution and not the family. The family is at fault for a lot of it, I will say. But anyway, they're different.
Who is the institution then?
They're like the people that work for the family.
Like not the family themselves, but like.
But it's like their PR team.
The people who like represent them, basically. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, because I mean they're funded by the people in the Commonwealth, so like they're paid like taxes. So it's the people. It would be like whoever runs the White House versus Biden and his family.
Okay.
It's kind of, I guess, how you would describe it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, things could happen without Biden knowing, and then you'd go to him and be like, "What the fuck was this for?" And he's like, "I have no idea. That was done by this person."
Gotcha.
So
there's a reason most places don't have monarchies anymore.
Correct. Yeah, it's an outdated way of thinking and institution, but it is. A lot of the world is run by.
I just want to say too before I forget. I know that we'll bring it up at the end too, but Piers Morgan, you're an ugly rat, and I just want you to know that you're going to hell. You're on the fast fucking track to hell, and I hope that you.
He did get fired today.
And he should have a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just say that because he's been a rat. He's always been a rat.
Yeah.
He's a pig. Don't know what else to say. And you're ugly.
Are you going to update us, the people,
on what happened?
I don't know what happened.
So he's obsessed with Meghan Markle, first of all. He tweeted about her. I think as they said, he tweeted about her last week over 70 times. Just her in general. So he's clearly obsessed.
Do you know who he is?
I know
he's on Good Morning Britain.
Yeah, so he's just a radio. He's a host. Name. Yeah, he's a TV host.
Google rat and he'll come up. But he basically was saying, so she said in the interview that she had was suicidal while she was pregnant, and she reached out and they basically said, so sorry, that sucks, but we can't really do anything to help you.
Mm-hmm. And
so she reached out to Harry, and Harry kind of helped her through it, which is so sad. The fact that she was getting that much hate that she felt suicidal, and she was I was actively making plans, I had to stop myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really sad.
Yeah, and she was and Oprah was like, well, could you not have just, if they weren't going to give you help, could you have just walked into an institution? And she was like, no, what am I going to do? Uber myself to or call an Uber to the palace? You can't do that. I haven't seen my keys, my driver's license, none of that since I arrived.
Fucked over.
Yeah.
But she was talking about it, and any normal empathetic person's response would have been, that's so sad, that's horrible that she had to go through that. And this motherfucker was like, oh, that's not true. I guarantee you that's not, she's bluffing, basically, was accusing her of lying about it, which, how are you going to know what someone else's mental health is like?
Right.
And then he was like, how dare you come for the queen like that? It's I mean, who are you? Yeah, exactly. Why do you care so much, first of all?
Right.
And, I guarantee you if someone asked me about him, she'd be like, who? What?
You
know what I it's just so weird how hard he's going for them. And then one of his co-hosts or co-anchors or whatever,
mm-hmm.
I forget his last name. It's Alex or something.
Yeah.
But he called him out today on air and was you need to, basically in nice, and he didn't raise his voice at all at him or anything, but he was in kinder words, you need to relax. You kind of went off on her, and that wasn't fair of you, all this stuff. And he was I'm leaving, blah, blah, and he walked off set. And it's crazy because, you're going to be that hypocritical. He was I can't believe she just left when things got hard. Yet, literally, he got up the second someone directed criticism his way. It's and she actually had a valid reason to leave. He didn't. He just sucks.
Yeah, he does.
In conclusion, Piers Morgan sucks.
Yep. So, like LD just said, she did say that she became suicidal, and she reached out to the institution. They basically said, so sorry you're feeling this way, but there's literally nothing I can do to help you. She went to the institution's HR team, all of this stuff. Then by the end of it, she was like, fuck, I finally have to, I have to tell Harry or I'm going to do it. If I don't do it, if I don't say this now, then I'm going to do it.
Which is so sad. And that stress too during a pregnancy, especially, that's
well, she had already lost a baby. She had a miscarriage. Her dad was literally lighting her up in the tabloids. Oh my God, her
dad sucks too. I forgot. All these crusty old white men need to step back. I cannot handle it.
Yeah, he was literally writing letters and just bullshit stories every day.
I do remember that. Yeah. Because I was literally, why? Why is he, if he actually wanted a relationship with her, that would not be the way, I don't think he does. I think he just wants money. But, if he actually did, that would not be the way to go about it.
No. So, all of that's happening. And then finally, so she tells Harry, and Harry, obviously, he's the best. He's the best part of,
Harry.
Yeah, he's the best part of the royal family. And he finally listened to her and all of this stuff. But then they had some sort of an event to go to the next day. And she said that there's tabloid pictures out there and everybody's like, oh my God, they look so happy, so happy. And she's like, when I look at that picture, I look at the tears that we were crying in the car that we had to wipe away. If you look at his grip on Meghan, they're both white knuckling each other because they're so sad.
That's
so
sad.
Yeah, but they have to go to this event because they're royal. And Harry says it later on in the interview that whatever you're going through, if you have to be somewhere, tough luck. You better figure it out and just keep going. So that's the sad part. They also, later on in the interview, Meghan tells Oprah that when they announced that they were having a baby, there were talks of that their baby is not going to receive a title, which they asked the family and the institution why, and they never got a response for it. So I don't know the ins and outs of why they could say that and why they couldn't, but the baby wasn't going to get a title, wasn't going to receive security because he didn't have a title, and then there were talks of how dark this baby's skin tone would be and how problematic that would be.
Yeah, so, I mean, I honestly thought that, like, clearly that's just a very outdated, like, foundation. Like, the monarchy was basically built on colonialism, so I don't know why it would be a shock that they're racist, like, to people. You know what I mean? Like, obviously. And the fact that they put them through that is absolutely horrendous, and I think that they should be called out, and I honestly don't think the monarchy should exist anymore, to be honest. But,
and Meghan wouldn't say who it was. She said it'd be very damning to them, and then when Oprah asked Harry later on in the interview, he said, I'm never going to share who said that. But in the part that didn't air, Oprah said that he wanted to make sure that that everyone knew that it wasn't his grandma or grandpa that said that. So I fucking know that it was Charles or William. And it was probably Charles because Charles is a fucking piece of shit.
I mean, to be fair though, like, William's not great either.
No, he's not. But if you've seen The Crown or know anything about about the royal family, you know Charles sucks a fucking dick. And if he curled over and died tomorrow, I don't think that many people would be sad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I mean, they're racist pieces of shit. I'm so sorry to say that.
Yeah.
If you're treating if you're treating anyone like that, obviously, but a new member of your family like that, like, what? How is that? And then I feel like the way she said that they said it, there was concerns over his skin. I feel like they probably tried to say something and make it like, oh, we're just wondering. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like they tried to play it off like it wasn't racist, which very clearly it is.
Right.
So it's like, and also, it shouldn't have mattered if it was like a dark-skinned baby or light-skinned baby. Like, it shouldn't matter either way. Well, but the fact that they were acting like it was going to be a dark-skinned baby when Harry is a white, pale, ginger male, and she is, I don't remember if Meghan is a fourth black or half black or not.
Yeah, she's
but
something.
She could be mistaken for a white boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, like I said, it shouldn't matter either way at all.
Right.
But it's just, they're so weird. Someone tweeted, I forgot what the username was, but they were like, I can just imagine the royal family doing Punnett squares in the delivery room, and I was like, oh my God.
I don't get it. So, and then at some point in this interview, Harry was talking about how Meghan was really well received at the beginning when she first came on the scene, and then when they went after they were married, they went to their Australia tour, whatever, it's like Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, the islands down there, and she was so well received. And like I said, if you've seen The Crown, you know that Diana, after they got married, they went on that same tour and everyone loved her, and that's when the palace started fucking hating her guts. Threatened. Yeah. So
it's like, wouldn't you want members of your family to be well received like that?
Right. I don't. Yeah. And Diana was a people person, and so is Meghan, and they felt threatened by that, and so they're like, nope, fuck this bitch, gotta get her out of here. But
it's really sad, like, how similar it is. Like, and let me just say, like, they talk a lot of shit for people who are aging like curdled milk. Yeah. Can I just say, like, I don't understand.
And they're all, like, inbred, too.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's...
Yeah, the Queen...
the royal family is, like, it's like a known thing.
The Queen is married to her fourth cousin.
Yeah,
so
it's like a known thing that they're.
I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah.
And also, Andrew, a member of the family, is a literal pedophile, and
Right.
everyone's like, "No, I think that it's Meghan that we need to get out." Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
First of all, so I don't really like trust anything that they would say or believe anything that they would say. I think that, like I said,
they were obviously just threatened by her for some.
Oh yeah.
And I don't understand that, because you'd want someone
Yeah.
that the people like. That's your whole job, is to be liked by the people.
Can
So
I say though,
that.
I love that she like reached out to Diana's friends, and Diana's
Yeah.
friends helped her. Oh, love that.
Yeah, and that's how she said that she got through her suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, because she reached out to one of Diana's best friends, and she was like, "This is the only person that will know what I'm going through." Yeah, which good. And Harry, I just love him.
It was so sad when Harry was talking about like this. He's like, I won't sit around like and watch them like do what they did to my mom,
Mhm.
to Meghan, which is so sad.
Yeah.
But
And-
like good for them.
Yeah.
For like leaving a fucked up situation like that.
Yeah, and the press made it seem like they decided on a Thursday night that they were like, nope, I'm fucking out, and then on Friday said something. They said that they were in talks for 2 years with the royal family about how they were going to leave, what their duties were going to be when they leave, where they're going to go. They had a detailed outline of what was going to happen, and then once they released it, the family was like, oh, what? They're
press,
leaving?
Like,
Like,
this is the royal family's ass. Like,
Yeah.
it's absurd.
It's-
like, they have to
yeah.
be getting to that. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's like, every single day, they just, like, fuck her over. And it's like, why? I don't
well,
know.
yeah,
It's so
Oprah did a
stupid.
comparison of
Oh, the Kate.
of
it's,
Kate
like,
versus-
articles, and it's, like, them doing the exact same thing. And they're like, Kate shines in her lovely baby bump and cradles it, like, caring, like, lovingly or whatever. And they're like, and then it was a picture of Meghan doing the same thing. And they're like, why this is outdated and stupid. Why is she drawing so much attention to herself? And it's like, and it's the same, like, it wasn't even, like, different news. It was literally the same news sources, like, on the same websites. It was like, what? Like, y'all aren't even gonna try to, like...
Yeah. And there was an article about avocados.
Oh my god, I remember. First of all, why the fuck are they reporting on that? I cannot.
Yeah, but it was like how Kate looks great because she has avocados, and Meghan's taking away resources from people by having avocados.
Stop.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
If she stepped the wrong way, they would be like, "Oh my god, can you believe that Meghan did?" Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That poor woman.
I know, but
but I love the deleted scene. I think it was a deleted scene from there when how Meghan was talking about Kate being treated horribly by the press, and she was like, they called her like Lady Katie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she didn't get proposed to a week
That's
later.
like low-key funny, I'm not gonna lie. But, well, she like waited for like 9 years or something. Like, it was something, like, they had been together for a long time. And Meghan was like, that's horrible. Like, I am very sorry that she went through that. But, like, that's not the same thing as dealing with racism, like what I'm dealing with.
Right.
And she's absolutely right. Like, it's not the same thing at all.
Exactly.
So the fact that Kate was being subjected to scrutiny, like, throughout the media when she first started out, and Meghan was doing, like, going through the same thing, just 100 times worse, and Kate seemingly, like, didn't reach out or, like, defend her, like, that pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
But I think that she has her own issues dealing with Prince William, because he's also a piece of shit, so...
Well, yeah, if he follows in any sort of his dad's footsteps, his dad is a fucking piece of shit. Well, yeah, I know. William used to be hot, but now he's not. Yeah, they said,
we're taking away all Diana's genes. If you want to act like your dad, you can act like your dad, bitch. Like, okay. We'll give it to Harry.
I know. And, I mean, if anyone's shocked that they would treat an outsider coming into the family like shit, like, look into Diana even at all.
Queen.
I know. Yeah, she was a pawn, which is really sad because the girl that Charles actually wanted was unavailable, so he needed to find somebody who was of the right class and, like, available to become royal.
Which is so crazy, because they basically, like, set him up with Diana, and then were like, no. It's like, what?
Well, no, he was like,
you know what I mean.
Like fuck you, no, I'm not gonna. And then he ended up with the girl anyway, so doesn't make any fucking sense. But
Diana in that revenge dress.
Yeah.
Iconic. Love
Yep.
her.
And Harry said, Oprah asked, like, what would Diana think about all of this? And he said, I think she would be really proud that we left, and I think she would be very angry about what's happening to us. But
definitely. When
he was cut off financially and got his security pulled, which is so sad because, like he said, he was born into that role. He wasn't like Meghan and married into the family. So he was born with a certain amount of threats happening to him and death threats and all of that stuff. And I don't know why they can just take that away from him. He didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
So when that was happening, Meghan was writing letters to the family saying, I don't care if you pull our security or my security and Archie's, their son's security, but please do not pull his. Like, I just want my husband to be safe. And the whole time they're just doing stuff for each other, which makes it, they are really in love. It wasn't just a setup.
They're very cute.
Yeah.
Together.
And when all of that stuff got pulled, Harry had money set aside from his mom, and he said, I think she saw this coming, and that's why this money was set aside. So
talking about Diana makes me sad.
I know, yeah.
Everyone, if you like look up old stuff about her, like everyone's like, my grandma and my mom and my aunts, like in Britain, they're like, they acted like that was like their family member.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, everyone loved her. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, she
like,
was a people person,
exactly,
and she
like,
didn't give a fuck about the monarchy, and she did what she wanted to do.
And I love that for her.
Yeah. Go Queen.
But, and anyone, if you don't know what Prince William used to look like, please look up a side-by-side. It's horrifying, shocking, disturbing, and that's what he gets. That's what I'm going to say.
So, yeah, all in all, the royal family can suck a dick. Bitches with a mic does not fuck with the royal family.
We absolutely do fuck with Meghan Markle
yes.
and Harry, though.
Yep. And there was a final statement released from the Queen today that said, the whole family is saddened to learn the extent of how challenging the last few years may have been for Harry and Meghan. The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. Harry and Meghan and Archie will be much loved family members, or will always be much loved family members. Fuck you.
Fake,
yeah.
Bullshit,
yeah, exactly.
When you were like I'm so sorry. Whenever someone gets caught for doing some fuck shit like that, and then they release some bullshit statement, I'm like, I will never take that as a sincere statement.
No, they should. They just need to own up and say, yeah, you're right. We fucked this up. I'm really sorry, and go from there.
Like, what they're doing is like the basic like fake apology where it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that you feel that I did this. Like, there's no accountability at all.
Right.
Like she said certain recollections may differ. Like, girl, no. There's no differing recollections. You're fucking racist or you're like, it's just, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so Meghan and Harry and Archie, we stand. They're having a new baby girl coming in the summertime. We love you, Stan. And that's it. Fuck you to the royal family.
Yep. They will fuck you.
Yep. And next up, we will have the updates of our dating night. Okay, so last week we held a Zoom dating night. We had 5 ladies, 5 gents. The 5 ladies are friends of ours. The 5 gentlemen were found randomly off of Hinge, which is a dating app that DJ selectively chose these men. Well, they signed up for it and then DJ vetted them before they were on Zoom.
I might have exaggerated the vetting process. It was really hard to find guys who were down. So it was basically the first 5 we said yes.
So sorry, ladies.
I didn't want the ladies to back out, so I was like, oh, I promise I've already FaceTimed them. Like, I know everything about them. Nothing.
Okay, I was going to say, did you do any of that?
We're just like, we here at Bitches with the Mic really value our friends' dating lives, clearly.
I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of risk. It was over Zoom. It wasn't like they were meeting in person.
It was a promo event for the podcast, and the ladies knew that.
And the guys did not. So we're going to name them.
Oh my god, yeah, we can name them. They have no idea this podcast exists.
We can absolutely rip them apart. And we're excited.
Yep, and if you...
I have their email accounts if anyone wants to attack them personally.
We just don't.
There's one that could be attacked. The rest seem to be... Hold on just a minute. There's one problematic man, and we're going to start with him. And his name is Bryce. There were 2.
It's a classic white boy name, so like there's no way that they're going to know who
actually,
this is, you know.
I did engineer it. Like any good Bachelor franchise, we had 2 people with the same name. So we had 2 Bryces.
Did we do like the last initial say?
Bryce.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bryce with no last name. Unfortunately, he did start out with... he was using his phone and not a computer, and that's not a shade. The shade being that he was clearly in a room full of other people, it seemed like, and he was sitting on a couch with the phone, like, on his knee almost, facing up. The whole setup was just fucked from the beginning.
Was he the one with the wired Apple headphones?
Yes.
Okay. My issue with that is there's nothing wrong with living with your parents, but what that tells me is you live with your parents,
right?
And you have to be on a private, quiet call, and you also don't believe in Bluetooth. There's just kind of, it really upset me. I don't know why.
There's the lack of computer. There's the lack of AirPods. There's the lack of privacy.
Social awareness.
Yeah.
There's just a lot.
There was a lot.
That gives me like drunk in the middle of the day at a frat house vibe. Like you're just like, oh, guys, shut up.
Right.
And fucking, anyway, what were we talking about?
Like that's holding the mouth attachment up to you so that your date can hear you.
Me. Yep. He probably does that for his private SoundCloud account too.
For sure.
So the overall consensus about him was he was an asshole because he was on a date.
Did someone say asshole?
Yes.
Shoot.
Yes.
Darn it.
It was, I'm not going to name her name, but I'll tell you after this. But they were on a date and we sent out a countdown of, you're going to be going to your next date. And he was like, this is just fucked. Like, what if I wanted to continue? They can't tell me when the date's over. This guy.
He was just, like, aggressive.
Yeah.
What if I wanted to talk about myself for 5 more minutes?
And then,
it was just weird.
Yeah, and then the other flaw was that he talked with every girl.
Every single fucking date.
Yes.
5 women had to hear this bullshit.
That he had what he defines as a Tinder success story, which I have a hard time finding that this is a success.
Are you married? Then I don't think so.
Yeah.
Are you dating someone?
No, yeah.
So.
He met someone on Tinder, they got engaged, and are now unengaged, obviously. And that was his definition of a success story, so I'm confused.
He's like, yeah, see, other bitches just really, like, aren't on my level.
Yeah.
I'm successful.
See, it almost sounded like he was trying to, like, lure them into the idea of meeting him from this weird app situation. Like,
right. Yeah, it was like a flex almost.
He classified a broken engagement as a success. And
yeah.
I think that tells you he's unhinged.
Yeah.
Did he paint it, like, as, like, sympathy? Like, was he trying to get, like, sympathy?
No, he was saying, like, I'm good at this.
He was like, I know this works.
I don't know which would be, like, more horrifying, to be honest. Like, if he, like, tried to get sympathy, or if he, like, the fact that he's using it as a subtle flex, I'm like, that's, like, not a flex. Yeah. If I was the girl on the call, I'd be like, that's not.
Every girl was like, okay.
It's not a sympathy thing either. If I had a broken engagement, you wouldn't hear about it till we're dating for, like, 6 months. And
yeah.
Like, hey, here's some of my baggage.
It's not something you do on a fucking speed date. Like, hey, fun fact about me, I actually
every
have an
speed date.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 speed dates.
That's crazy.
That's
you at least maybe, like, try it out on, like, you know what I mean? If you're going to be like that, try it out on the first, and then maybe if there's no response, maybe gauge that for the rest of them. Like, don't
Anyone
keep repeating
who tells that story can't read a room, though.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this goes into our Zoom dating do's and don'ts. Don't talk about your broken engagement on 5 dates in a row.
And also, don't just talk about yourself over and over. Like I said, I always refer to tweets, but I saw the tweet, and it was like you let a guy talk about himself for 3 straight hours, and I'm like, damn, like, you're not like other girls, like, you're so different. And it's like, I literally just sat here while you talked about yourself.
That's how all of my first dates go.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe, like, talk about yourself, but then go, and what about you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, bounce it back to them. Don't just sit there and talk about yourself for however long.
Yeah. It was, so, Bryce with no last name he was axed. He's a no-go for anybody. Next we have Sean, who DJ was really, really excited for one of our ladies.
Was he hot?
One of our, not necessarily, and we found out after the Zoom that actually the answer is no to that question. We may have been half-ished a little bit on that guy, but
that's so sad.
Yeah.
No. And that's when I thought the girls were going to realize I totally lied about his vetting process.
But he was wearing a hat in the FaceTime.
Yeah, exactly. But, one of the ladies is really into her niece and nephew and, like, just a lot of baby time for her. And in most of his photos, he had his little niece with him. So I was like, oh, that's going to be so cute. Like, future play dates. Mm-hmm. I was really hopeful. But then he didn't wear a hat on Zoom night. The fuck? You know well enough to put it in every fucking Hinge profile photo, and then you're gonna enter the Zoom and be like, "Here's the real me."
Yeah,
it was funny. It was
sad.
Like, oh, you think that was my niece? That's my kid that I have supervised visitation with once a week.
So yeah,
so she didn't like him.
There's also many.
Sean got it was like an overarching no.
Yeah,
it wasn't
because
for any real reason. It was just like
there were 2 reasons. Well, 3 actually. Ooh. So he was easy to talk to. However, there was an overall Trump vibe.
Why?
There just things that he said were a little Trumpy and like.
I'm just imagining him being like, "Fuck women, am I right?" And
No, yeah, just and I don't remember what the specifics were, but everybody's like, he has a Trump vibe to him, and I don't like that. And he also doesn't like small dogs, which I take offense to because I have 2 small dogs.
I don't like small dogs either. To be fair, I love your dogs, but if I saw them on the street and they laughed at me the way they do, I'd be like, yeah, I hate small dogs.
Well, yeah, but he said it as an overall no.
I did, yeah.
And he was really sarcastic, which didn't go well with certain women.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's just like not a good match. Like that's not necessarily he's like a bad. That's just not a good. You know what I mean? Like, you have a very specific personality. Like you have to, if you're sarcastic, you have to find someone who has that same sense of humor or is also very. You know what I mean?
Right. So then we have Bernardo. Bernardo, everyone loved.
Oh my god, I loved Bernardo.
Yes. Bernardo was really, really nice to talk to. We had a hot word, zesty wording he had from one girl. But then, again, a little bit problematic. The gay vibes were thrown a bit for a few different women. So they were confused.
Maybe as to what. Bisexual king.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak on that point.
Well, yeah, it just was a point of like, they weren't into that. Maybe he's not bi or gay. He just had some different vibes for our women.
He was a little bit feminine for their taste.
Yes, yes. Then we have Bryce A. And there's not a whole lot.
Did he do better than Bryce No Name last
Yes,
night? Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I remember him. This was my fucking Seabiscuit of the night. I was like, I'm gonna, Chris Harrison slays the stragglers from Bachelorette. That was gonna be my straggler.
Okay.
But I was just gonna kind of like whip up after the fact.
Yep.
But then apparently he was very condescending about his coworkers when he was talking about his work. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like he was referring to them as kids. I tried to back him up and said, I think he's in his 30s, so maybe he works with like 24-year-olds. Checked his Hinge profile. He was only 26.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't refer to other people as
DJ
Unless
did.
you literally work with an 8-year-old.
That's pretty, yeah, exactly.
DJ did concern most of the group because she just kept saying, no, he told me he's 31. we were like, what? And then all the girls were like, excuse me?
He just wasn't.
Yeah. So that was a bit concerning for about 5 seconds.
So
and
again,
then
you were clearly well vetted.
Yeah.
I clearly did my research.
Yeah. And then we end with Morgan. Morgan has a little heart by his name because he was the best out of all of them for all the women.
We knew he would be because in his Hinge profile there was a photo of him in this like
he was hot
velour colored fun suit.
Any man who has a photo like that. Yep.
Yep.
No, but it gets better. He had sparkly loafers.
Yep.
And he was waterfalling a fifth of tequila into his mouth.
You know that.
And I was like, bring this energy, Morgan.
Yeah.
And he clearly fucking did.
Yeah. Morgan was hot too, which was good. But he was easy to talk to, and his prompt for the night was, I don't even remember what he does, but he brought a prototype and showed it to every girl on a date of what he does.
That's kind of hot.
And
like he is clearly passionate.
Yeah, and the company that he works for is like a startup company that's owned by Walmart.
Fuck, now I remember.
And he was like, I work for Walmart. But like he doesn't, I mean he does technically work for Walmart, but that was like his opening line, which is funny.
Yeah. I was gonna say, anyone who like has a profile picture like, or anyone who has a photo like that, like that's like clearly like funny on their profile, probably isn't like a dud. You know what I mean? Like,
so
probably funny.
Yeah. And he was a cutie. Everyone
like,
loved him.
I'm not a greeter, but I do work for Walmart.
Yes. So yeah, that was it. And the overall consensus by the end of the evening was that no one had fallen in love, but we still don't know the update. DJ knows the update.
Unfortunately, there was only 2 updates. The first one's super upsetting. Sean messaged me on Hinge and said, "Are you individually interested?" I said, "So sorry, this was an event, not for me."
Oh my god, I like love that confidence for you though. Love that.
Well, is he the one that we were accidentally on a date with?
No, that was Bernardo, dude. That's when I fell in love with him.
Bernardo had a little bit of a sus question.
See, and I disagree because Double D and I got stuck in a Zoom breakout room with him on the first date when we just were not supposed to be participating. And his opening question was, would you kill a baby? And
I was immediately excuse me?
Wait. Was this like a would you rather kill a baby or was it just would you ever kill a baby?
No.
And so Double D wasn't into it.
I was like, what in the hell?
However, was like, fuck, let me think this through. I'm like, I see the humor in the question. I don't know. I like crazy shit like that.
I know you're
so
saying like the dark humor thing, but that's a very, very specific crowd. Like, the fact that
that's how he finds his match.
Yeah, the fact that he came out swinging, I mean.
Yeah.
I like it. I think if that's where his sense of humor lies, then it's important for him to show that on the first date. So
I didn't ask that to the girl that was close to his niece and nephew.
He unfortunately did.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He did. Because that was who was supposed to be in the date.
What did she say?
We muted it because we were like, I don't know how to leave this room, and we didn't want to be a part of it and like listening in, so we just muted everything.
We were trying to respect privacy.
Yeah.
But I imagine she awkwardly laughed it off.
Yeah.
Whereas I was like, well, I don't know. Probably not. I hope I never have to, but I'm sure there was a situation save the entire human race.
I was just going to say, there's the one where like, would you go back in time and kill a baby if that baby was like Hitler, yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen like questions.
So that's when I was like, I'm going to think this through. Double D was just not about it.
Well, I was just so like caught off guard. Like, can you at least ask my name? Like,
hey, would you kill a baby?
Yeah, I was very confused.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we are hoping to do this again. The ladies want to do it again with a different crowd.
Was there another follow-up or no?
Sorry, yes. The next morning, Morgan texted me and said, I didn't really realize we were supposed to like ask for the girls' numbers. That kind of reflects my job as the host completely failing because that was the whole goal. So he got one of the girls' numbers. And hopefully they're texting now.
Oh my God.
I haven't asked for an update, but I mean, if
we might have found love.
Holy shit. I'm putting that on my resume.
Yep. So we do want to do this again. So if anybody wants to write in if they want to be a part of it or on it.
And maybe we'll vet it this time, maybe we won't.
Yeah.
Don't really know.
I won't.
I don't lie
to my friends, I don't lie to our listeners.
Yes.
I will not do vetting. If they're hot, they make it.
That's true. If they cross off certain boxes, then
is just based on vanity alone. That's it.
So with that, we did kind of want to go into do's and don'ts of what you want to do on a Zoom date, since that seems to be everyone's future at the moment. Not a lot of places are open,
that's
or you
don't.
That's a
bleak statement.
What?
Since that's everyone.
Well, with COVID, I mean with COVID.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to meet just random strangers anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Zoom dating is the future. Let me just say it now. Zoom sponsor us. We do want to have good lighting, and you do want to have a good camera angle, because that could fuck up the entire date.
Oh yeah, you better be looking like a bad bitch.
Yeah, like you want to try out the angles before you just hop on a call.
Yeah.
Call your friend first, for God's sake.
Fluorescent lighting is definitely a no.
Yeah.
Make sure you're under some like good like you know what I mean.
And don't have a messy background. Even if you are messy, you don't want to lead with that. You know what I mean? You don't want to look like a slob on the first date. So have a good background.
I would say don't have a green screen background, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's very
that's
corporate.
Just weird.
It's very corporate.
That also like makes me think that like where you live is sketch, to be honest.
Yeah,
or, like where you
live.
Homeless.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. We did run into this issue on the dating night. One of our ladies did call someone the wrong name.
Mm-hmm.
To her credit, there were two people with the same name, so she did have a 40% chance of saying the correct name. She just happened to be with the wrong person.
And you know what, Queen, you can recover from that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But remember their name. If you've talked about certain topics, don't then re-ask them. This just goes on dating in general.
Yeah.
But I'd like to say that.
And make sure you're in, like, I mean, I'm sure, like, if you're going on Zoom dates, like, most of the time you probably either, like, live alone or, like, with roommates.
Yeah.
So, like, make sure you're not in, like, make sure it's not obnoxious to, like, talk to you. Like, you're, like, talking to other people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, having to keep being, like, hey, be quiet, whatever.
Yeah,
make
as Bryce noted.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't be Bryce, no last name, with your headphones in a crowded area. Like, just make sure it's somewhere, like, where you can
treat it,
normal volume and, like, not...
Treat it like a real date.
Exactly.
Yeah, treat it like a real date. Take your time.
Instead of paying for dinner, Venmo them $40. Just cause.
Yeah, and let us know if any of these tips are helpful. You know, if you want to be a part of the next dating night, we'll see what we can do.
Or if you have like a fun like Zoom dating story, or like you're about to go on a Zoom date, would love to know that because we're nosy.
Yeah, we'll put it up on our Instagram. If you haven't followed us yet, follow us at Bitches with the Mic Podcast on Instagram. We are recently on Twitter, and it's bitches_Mike. Follow us there. LD is going to be taking that over, I believe, and doing funny tweets and like mainly liking and retweeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, retweeting funny stuff because she's hilarious and finds the most outrageous tweets on the planet. Like, I don't know where you find this stuff, but it is gold.
Thanks. They're all just like shit
posts
and like stupid. Like they're very like obscure memes like that like are not funny. Like they're not. You know what I mean? They're
you have
so
to. Yeah.
Stupid. But yeah, and rate, review, subscribe, like all that shit.
And we want to plug my cousin-in-law's girlfriend has made us new artwork for the podcast. Yes. And I know Queen, Tasha, if you're listening.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And she's come up with a bunch of different concepts for us. So we have put them out on our Instagram for you guys to see which one you like. And we have it down to 2. So we will put them back up tonight. And you guys will choose the final one.
Yeah. And so hopefully our logo won't just be like a JPEG of the microphone, like a little clips art photo. So thank you, Tasha, for helping us not look completely pathetic.
Yeah, exactly. DJ, any final thoughts?
I had a few more Zoom tips.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
I actually, at the very beginning of COVID shutdown, did have a bit of a FaceTime romance, if you will.
Okay.
So a few other things that Double D did not yet touch on. I would say outfit medium effort, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking flannel or a cute V-neck.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to show like your two
don't have a leather jacket on in your apartment bedroom. That's a little crazy.
Right.
So I would say medium effort on the outfit. Like Double D said, get your spot. Call your friend before.
Yeah.
And call a friend that's patient enough to let you turn on and off every fucking lamp in the room until you really get that fucking lighting.
Take a few pictures if you need to too. Like self-timer pictures.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a great idea. Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Browse their social media and their profile right before.
Okay.
So you have stuff to ask them about. Because that's like any fucking first date I go on though. Like you don't want to just sit there and be like, what are your hobbies? What are your hobbies? What are your hobbies?
Right.
That's terrible. Like have stuff to ask them about. And then you're definitely going to want to set a mental cutoff time for a good and a bad situation.
Oh, yeah. I saw this on I listened to this on Call Her Daddy.
Yes, I think she specifically said to like have an out.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even give them an out because that to me sounds very like, oh, I clearly don't want this to go on for that long. Mm-hmm. So I don't like to at the beginning be like, oh, I have this thing I need to get to because we're in fucking quarantine. You don't. But like,
they're like, oh, bitch, you need to go to your kitchen. Okay,
exactly. So like, if it's a bad one in 30 minutes, I'm saying, oh shit, my mom's calling me. I'm so sorry. Like, talk to you a little bit. Or if it's a good one, I would give it a solid hour.
Okay.
But if you get to an hour and you're like, oh, this is going so well, just fucking, you can talk another time. You don't want to keep talking.
That's a good one.
And it's not exciting after that point. So you want that mental
to do on a second date.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because you can't I feel like because if you go out on like physical dates, there's like a little bit less time to talk because like you're doing other stuff, you're eating, you're like going out, like you're doing an activity. So like you do have more to talk about too, like because you don't talk as much. Like where Zoom is like literally all talking.
Right. Yeah,
so
you're just staring at
it. Yeah, you kind of have to brace yourself. Like you know what I mean. Like you kind of have to stop yourself and like let there be more to talk about next time.
Yes. Once you get on the call her daddy mentioned like start by doing something. I personally like to start by making a drink. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just getting a drink. I want this to feel real tonight. Like
these are such
like
good.
And so like I start the call, it's probably a weird bad angle, but it doesn't really matter. Like he can get over my double chin for me to pour a little bit of whiskey in my glass.
Right.
And then you're just moving and that kind of like cuts out that initial like you're just sitting there staring at them.
So you like you're like on a job interview.
Yeah, exactly. And that's crazy. And so then you bring your drink into your spot that you've already called your friend or done a self-timer in.
Oh,
And then
this
you
is
set
good.
yourself.
Yeah, this is good.
But definitely, like, that beginning can be so fucking awkward if you pick up a call and they're just staring at you deer-eyed.
That gives it more of, like, a FaceTiming, like, a friend or someone vibe, too.
Right.
Because, like, I'm always doing other shit when I'm FaceTiming my friends. I'm, like, rarely ever just sitting there doing nothing.
Oh, yeah, I could be on, like, a whole ass run. Or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm on a grocery run.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
oh, hi.
Yeah.
What's up?
100%. And then another thing, hopefully they're not doing a green screen background, but what I like to do if, like, there was an awkward moment or it was kind of in between conversations is, like, point out something in the background of their thing. So, like, the guy I was FaceTiming had his college flag behind him. So I started immediately just roasting and being like, oh, is your fucking frat flag next to that? Like, you're 24 years old, why are you? It would, that sounds super mean, but, like, it was funny.
That's like me,
But, like, that's something to, like, talk about. Mm-hmm. So just kind of, if you've already gone through the stuff in their profile, pick something in their room and be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. It can be funny or it can just be like, oh, is that your baby in that photo? Let's talk about that.
I'm kind of torn. Like, if they have pets, do you think you should, like, incorporate that?
I would.
No?
But
if I had the pet, I absolutely would. I would have the dog in there so that if at any moment I'm like, oh my god, Fuzzy's here.
Yeah, or, like, especially if you need it out, be like, oh, I have to go take my dog out.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's true.
Even if you don't have a dog,
that's
cool.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, buddy, I'm coming.
There's no noise in the background.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because, like, I know that could be, like, seen as, like, I don't know, like, you're taking time away from, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I feel like, too, it depends on, like, how your dog voice is. Like, if someone's talking to a dog in a normal voice, they're a sociopath. I'm so sorry. If someone, like, if they don't have, like, a designated voice, like, I mean.
I feel you.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
But,
No, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
if they're like, hi, like, I would be like, who the fuck are you talking to?
How'd you get in here?
My pet?
What?
Yeah.
You better raise those decibels, sir.
You get a little hi.
Yeah.
I talk to a dog, like, I don't know. But, yeah, so if you have dogs or cats or whatever.
That's a really great thing to incorporate for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say just have, like, shit to talk about so it's not awkward because it's going to be weird enough that you're on a first date on Zoom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I haven't done any of this. This is all pure speculation. But for those of you that are going through it, that's how I would think it would go. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can DM me. If you have nobody else to call, FaceTime me, and I'll get your lighting set up.
Yeah, you have, like, 8 waiting calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Busy Thursday night.
Yeah. No, that's a good call, though.
Yeah. And that's all I have from my personal experience.
Okay. Are you going to go on Zoom dates in the future, do you feel like?
I'm actually trying to force myself into FaceTime dates first because, as we all know, I pay for all my first dates.
Right,
and I'm
that's
like
such
really
a problem.
fucking sick of that. So I think, and voice is a huge thing for me. So, like
if they have a bad voice, then
yes,
it's
like I'm either very attracted or very unattracted to people's voices. So, like, most guys I've talked to on the apps since a year ago with quarantine, like, they don't really give a fuck about COVID consciousness. So, and, like, women might not either. So if you don't, but, like, you are into voices or, like, you don't necessarily want to foot the bill right away, I think it's a great option.
Oh,
and
yeah,
if
for sure.
somebody's not willing to FaceTime you on the first date, then they're just trying to fuck you. And that's, like, another telltale sign.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
which is fine, but then you'll know,
1-minute phone call, like, that's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's a good, just, like, extra barrier to, like, not waste your time. You don't have to drive anywhere. It's super fucking low risk.
Yeah.
That's
Weed
so
out
true.
the sociopaths.
The voice thing, though, oh my god. Like,
Voices
you never think about it, like, really, or I honestly don't, like, think about it, but now that you brought that up, like, there are certain people, and this is gonna sound so mean, I don't care how nice you are, if you have, like, a very, very, and it has to be, like, very extreme, but if your voice is, I cannot carry a conversation, that's all I'm gonna think about.
No, I was just the other day in Ross, one of the fucking helpers asked the friend that I was with if they needed help with anything. The voice was so chaotic, I whipped my fucking neck and was like, what's happening over there? But again, like, that person deserves love and they will find love.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It wasn't a voice for me, for my taste.
That's true. Yeah.
And, like, maybe go into do character voices. Maybe be a voiceover person for specific, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Your future's brighter than mine.
Exactly.
Like, no digs on you, but
yeah.
I just want to get that through on FaceTime.
Right.
And not
Yeah.
sit at a happy hour for 5 hours with you.
And like I know that I personally don't really like my voice that much, but I know that it's not extreme enough on either area where like hopefully it wouldn't turn someone away from wanting to talk to me.
So
yeah.
I
hate my voice too. I feel like I'm very monotone.
Love that because we have a podcast and we're like, oh my god, our voice is right now.
And then we market it
exactly.
for a fucking hour every week.
I know, yeah, but some people say that they like my voice, which is really nice.
Everybody likes your voice.
Yeah,
sure.
It's very nice.
You have a nice voice.
It's very monotone.
Yeah,
so I think that I have a great voice, and then I hear it on video or in recording, and I'm like, I'm actually gonna off myself. I think like this is horrible.
Dude, even at work when I have to listen to my voicemails, all I say, I don't even have an outgoing message. It like does its thing, and then I say my name, and I can't even listen to my fucking self say my own name.
Mine is from like 6th grade still, I think.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna call you just to hear that.
Speaking of voices, we do know that DJ and LD sometimes sound distant on.
I am choking on this mic. Please fucking DM us if you still can't hear me because I have exited the tunnel that I was stuck in.
We did sound like we were whispering from 8 feet away in a tunnel.
Yeah.
We were on a car phone. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
So if we sound better, hopefully.
Yeah, and if we don't, we will upgrade these mics.
We're just going to have to swallow them at that point.
Yeah.
Because we're very close to them.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how because Double D's voices sounded exquisite throughout the whole thing. So that's fun.
Yeah,
we'll
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah. But let us know if it's better this time for sure.
But like we're not that ignorant. We did realize what was happening. We tried to fix it multiple times without success.
So yeah, thank you for staying with us while we go through this.
While we navigate this hard time.
Yeah, this journey. Bye, bitches.